And I have a very, very special guest today. She's a very dear friend of mine. She was actually a part of the beginning of my journey, and I'm so excited to have her today. Before I introduce her, I want to let you know Second Chances is on every Wednesday, same time, 3:30 p.m. And it's really following the initial initiative or a thought that of creating the roadmap in my book, Second Chances. And it's all about the stories or the challenges that we have acquired during our journey to success, right? And the reason I'm bringing a lot of the best experts in their industry is because a lot of people have this misconception that voila, overnight they became this successful coach or expert or speaker and so on. And, I wanted to ask them to come on and share their stories, their golden nuggets that all our audience could take away. And they're more practical, right? It's nothing you can Google or read in a book or anything like that, because it's actually hands-on on the best testing ground, which is their own life, right? So this is really the reason behind Second Chances. And who am I? I am Dr. Hanan Salim. I'm the author of Second Chances. I'm an international speaker, award-winning author. I've actually been dubbed the pharmacist of the future from this series that I've created on how to transform your health and well-being in a natural, organic way. And I'm actually received many, many awards from the international health and wellness gurus. So anyway, getting back to the show, I want to, mention this lovely lady, Andrea Zoa. She has been, we were just talking before I came on the show, and we've been actually knowing each other for 3 years. And that's around the same time where I started my wanting to be a speaker and everything. And I'm actually an introvert by nature. And when I joined her workshop, I was like behind. I would never speak up, and she would make sure to point me out, to stand up and face up and take the challenge, right? She's a lovely lady, and she's very soft-spoken. She's so kind and gentle, but beware when you get into her workshop and she becomes your coach. She really drives you. She scared me a little bit, right? And that's actually what we need sometimes, right? We need that extra push, that extra nudge, that extra like wake up and be you and come out of that shell. And I'm very fortunate to have had her on my journey, in the beginning of my journey. And we were just speaking right before the show, and she was mentioning how proud and how she sees it like totally different person. I feel it as a totally different person. So without further ado, I want to introduce Andrea. She's a presenter. She's an inspirational speaker. She's a confidence coach based obviously in Dubai. She's on a mission to amplify human potential. And let me tell you, I've been there and done that. I definitely agree. She's very capable of getting you out of your shell and perceive and receive your dreams. She's talented and is able to inspire everyone attending her workshops and events. She enables an innovative and engaging learning environment in which her attendees amplify their potential and build their self-confidence. This is exactly what happened to me in a nutshell at her workshop 3 years ago, and she's been ever since a dear friend. She's very close to my heart. And she's done so much in such a short amount of time that I really have to mention her art that she has now pivoted in such a wonderful way for every expertise, right? She has enjoyed a multifaceted career as a model. You got to see her. She's absolutely beautiful. She's an actress. She's a successful brand ambassador. She's been honored as the face of Emirates Airlines, as a featured character on The Bold and Beautiful, as a presenter for live events featuring brands like Audi, Hermes, with more than 80 live events completed till today. And she's very passionate to bring her stage experience to her public speaking workshops. I'm an avid fan. I am forever grateful from the beginning and day one of her being on my journey. And she is one of the few people that I will always be close to my heart and I cherish dearly. So without further ado, I want to introduce my dear and lovely Andrea. So, how are you?
Hello to all your amazing viewers and everyone who is joining. Wow, with that presentation, I have to now keep up to the amazing presentation that you have shared. Thank you very much for your kind words. And
It's actually straight from my heart. It was nothing. Yeah, definitely. Go ahead. I
I
want
know
you to introduce
every,
yourself. If I missed anything, because I was speaking from my heart. So I want you now to have the floor and mention all your expertise. Yes, please.
I am, first of all, super flattered to chat with you, especially because we've met 3 years ago, and because of how we both have evolved. In a nutshell, for everyone who is just getting to know me, very nice to meet you all. I am a confidence coach and a presenter, and I'm on a mission to truly eliminate any type stage fear, any type of fear or limiting belief that people might have that prevents them from connecting and presenting their true self and their messages and their truths and their value with this world. Pretty much like you have birthed this book, like you have encapsulated your knowledge and your expertise into the book, and now you are speaking all day, every day, which you are not really doing 3 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
So pretty much like you are doing, I want more and more people to take the bull by the horns, to know their message, to practice and to do more videos, to go out there, because the more we speak, the better we become. And the better we become, we then transform ourselves in channels of information. And God knows that the world today needs more experts, more coaches, more people who can push more people to stay healthier, remove limiting beliefs, and just evolve into more, into better, year by year.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when we usually start on the show, Andrea, and I want you to tell us your second chances journey to being the successful confidence coach you are today. I'm sure people need to understand that these things don't happen overnight. So what was your journey like? What was your roadmap like to where you are today?
When we've met 3 years ago, you saw me quite poised and strong, facilitating a 2-day public speaking course to you. And we've been through that journey of you getting rid of the fear, polishing your message, and really coming out stronger, more beautiful in your expression, and feeling more comfortable. And maybe when you saw me, you were like, "Oh, great! What an energetic presenter! It's great to be in her class," and right, and things like that. And then, as I've mentioned in the course, and as I do in all my master classes, people see me on stages, presenting, emceeing high-end events for the government, for different type of entities, and launching different type of launches, and they see me maybe singing, dancing, being very cheerful on my social media. I put my stories and I do my lives, and if you just tune in for 5 minutes or for a few seconds, you have this snapshot. You have this impression of, oh wow, high energy, oh wow, uplifting energy. And that's what I want to put out there in the world, because this is who I am. However, in this show, we want to take people back in time and tell them how I have not been confident, how I have had certain obstacles, and how I have overcome them, with the purpose of inspiring maybe few people who are going to watch this show to feel that they can too. So the story goes back in 1984, when I was born uh, in the gorgeous Romania. From day two, when like first second day when I arrived, doctors alarmed my parents that I was having a low immunity. So I was already having fever, and that time I started having a series of infections, and I had to receive penicillin and ampicillin injections. I was 2 years old. So
Yeah.
up until 6, I was on and off the hospital, on and off, on and off. I was going to the hospital more often than a child goes to Candelicious or to the mall to buy candy. And
Mhm.
that made me grow up with a belief and a perception of self of being a weak child. In Arabic language, in Arabic, because I live in the Emirates now for 16 years, in Arabic we say, "Oh, haram muskina," poor girl. So I grew up with that mantra, with that identity of I'm weak. I was having dark circles. I didn't have much energy, and I was always going to hospital to do my blood test, take medication, and my first second chance, came to me unexpectedly. It doesn't really make much sense unless you can debunk it because you are the expert when it comes to medicine. My parents were told that because I'm the only child and maybe they focused too much on me, they said, if we have a second child, for sure, Andrea will be fine. And my parents were like, how is her health having anything to do with us conceiving and birthing another baby? And they were exhausted from taking me to hospital in the middle of the night with high fevers and treating me. And they were like, let's make another baby. So, so in 1990, in July, my sister arrived, and from few weeks after she arrived, I stopped being sick.
Mm.
Just like that, just like that. So, in my language, she became my angel, and that joy was, in a way, short-lived because when I was 8, my dad, who was working, he was a mechanical engineer, but we were also having a farm and orchards. We were working in the countryside as we were living in the city. In one night, as he was transporting goods to the market, unfortunately, as he was very, very tired, he fell asleep and he passed away during a car accident.
Sorry about that.
So I was 8 years old. My sister was less than a year, and in a way, I call that also my second chance because I remember in the early in the morning at 3:30, 4 a.m., he came to kiss my forehead, and he said, "Sleep well, rest. I'm going out to the market." And I was trying to hurry to put my clothes on to go with him to the market because I remember telling him, "You're tired, and I have to be with you in the car to keep you company." I was already 6, and I was part of helping them. And he said, "What are you talking about? I'm the best driver there is." Of course not. You just sit here, sleep, be well. Maybe if I was with him in the car, maybe we would have both been asleep. Nobody knows, right? So, um, as much as it was very difficult for me to live without that support, to have a dad who would be there to protect me, to punch everyone's face, who would not, who would not to protect me. I think that in a way or another that was a way in which the angels or God were protecting me because I really wanted to go with Him. Um, I did think about second chances, and I love when you put people in reflection. And I can't wait to put my hands on your book. I want to meet you. I want to, to just learn more about it. But I absolutely love the idea. When I was reflecting on second chances, I was like, oh wow. Because when you start to reflect, you become more grateful.
Yes,
I,
exactly.
I know it might sound a bit cheesy and a bit corny, but you did say, Andrea, just be yourself. Um, to me, waking up this morning was yet another chance because we really live life and we do take life for granted. We don't realize that every other morning when we wake up and we become conscious and we realize that our heart is beating and we are healthy, we have another chance to live. We do take that for granted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my God. Thank you for, this is part of the reason I bring people I love and I know they're authentic. I know they come from a space of, being themselves, bringing their message to help others. And you are one of the people that came straight to mind to have on my show, because there's always a takeaway in learning, because we're not all perfect, and being you, like you know, an actress, influencer, celebrity, and being on the stage and the limelight, people believe that, oh, you've got it made, you were born that way, and it's a huge misconception, and we all have this second chances journey, and I appreciate for you sharing that with me. I really do.
I think it's our duty, yours and mine, since I know your heart and I know how you think and I know how much it means to you to be in service. My
Yeah.
mantra is die empty. Uh,
Mm.
I am I am accused very often by many people who are telling me, why do you mention about your alopecia? Why are you mentioning your acne? Why are you mentioning your rhinoplasty? Because I corrected my nose. Why do you mention all these detailed issues that you've had as a woman? Because I said, because I want to die empty. Because my
Mm.
life maybe is an experiment. Because everything I live and the way I overcome. I mean, let's just talk about hair. Because of my low immunity, because I've drank antibiotics like I just drank too many antibiotics in the span of 7 years. That alone makes the hair thinner.
Yeah.
And with the low immunity and the impact on my hormones that were constantly dancing like this until I found a cure to balance them, I was having alopecia, which means in here, right here in front of my scalp, I could see a empty space, and you could see my scalp. And now I have different topical solutions, different doctors and clinics who are working with me to take care of me, different supplements, a lifestyle to keep that in shape. And if I don't talk about it, if I come here and I say, "Oh, I woke up like this," what's the point? For what? Because that's what ego would say.
Yes.
But I parked my ego a long time on a side and I said to myself, I want to be that person who undresses herself from insecurities, from whatever has happened to me. I want you to take my lessons, don't make my mistakes, learn from my solutions, and let's all together have a better life. Let's all together be more confident in our beauty and our aesthetics. And so yeah, I'm here to share the experience, and never ever judge a book by its cover, except your book. Your book is
Thank you.
your book gives second chances. But yeah, with the rise of social media, with the rise of, on social media, what happens? We are communicating visually more than ever before. We are filtering and photoshopping photos more than ever before. We are aspiring to look beautiful, which is great. I love to do my hair. I love to curl my hair and put makeup and use these illuminators. But if you have to make a live with no makeup, make no mistake, I will remove my makeup and we will do a live without makeup, because if we don't make peace with who we are in the mirror at 6 a.m. in the morning and at 11 p.m., we don't really live a healthy life.
Yes, exactly. Awesome. So let's go on a lighter note and think about how you transform this unfortunate events from a childhood into your superpowers of Andrea today. Yeah. So what did you do with these learnings? And I'm sure it was a heartfelt, emotional roller coaster when you lost your dad, and you seeing right now, realizing, my God, you could have been in that same car, and thank God, you're here with us today. How do we transfer and empower did you empower yourself to make that fuel as an opportunity, rather than being stuck there? Because a lot of people during COVID, they're getting stuck, they're having these crazy suicidal thoughts, their mental health, physical health, and everything is become like a bit of a traumatic event for them. So what would you, from your learnings, be able to say to them during this time?
After years of marinating myself at a psychological level, at an emotional level, in this wound and in this pain of not having a father, not having the male figure, the protector, a man to look up to, and after running in different people, in different relationships, looking for him and not finding him and feeling disappointed, I surrendered. First, I surrendered. Then I
Mhm.
cried. Then I wrote the journal. Then I got the sickness, as I mentioned, skin, hair, mood, because obviously it shows, and you can talk for 25 hours, 30 hours about that. I know, I know. I'm not even getting you started.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Feel in our psyche is being exported in our skin, in our mood, in our facial expression. So I was clever enough and vulnerable enough to go to different healers and say, I'm not well and I want to be better. So I've recognized a hunger for life. I recognized an insatiable desire to live better and live more. And as I was preparing one time for one of my master classes, so when it comes to it has to do with what I teach. When it comes to presenting, I'm meeting far too many exceptional humans who are afraid of presenting a material, a book themselves. And I said, I want to give it my all to find the best metaphor, analogy, exercise, practice to help people. In that search, I actually found a cure for myself at the same time.
Mm, of
Because, of course, there is no coincidence in life.
course.
So I was looking on the world's library called YouTube for something. I was looking for something, and I found a short video on the process of how the embryo and the baby is formed. And there is this magnificent video where you see in 4 or 5 minutes the evolution. And when I realized that today I'm 36 and I am 174 and I have brown eyes and medium hair and I sound how I sound and I'm from Romania and I live in Dubai for 16 years, but once I was a cell,
Mhm.
that put things for me in perspective. How from a cell I became an embryo, from an embryo I became a mold of meat with the soul and the organs grew and evolved and I exited my mother's body and I've survived 6 years of sickness. I survived the loss of my dad. I survived seeing my mother for 2, 3 years not having emotional balance because she was now with two girls. I said, I put things in perspective and I said, if I've been through all that, well,
Mhm.
maybe I'm meant to be here. Maybe I'm meant to do so much more. And with the help of healers, with the help of coaches, with the help of all the things that I've read and I've put my hands on, I said to myself, wow, that's my ammunition. That's my potion.
Yes. Yes.
And I am someone who naturally is happy. I think it's in my DNA. I have a happy So,
Okay. So why is it, I mean, which is leading to my next question. So you speak about your mom and you spoke about, the unfortunate, sudden, death of your dad. So why is it so now? And I know you speak about this a lot, and you mentioned that it's very, very crucial to strengthen your relationship with your parents, right? Is that coming from that? Is that coming from your experience of losing your dad at such a young age and seeing your mom, and not the best of well-being and so forth? Yeah.
sure. Part of my healing has been a therapy called Family Constellation. I have my therapist from Romania who I recommend to everybody I meet because she has had a massive contribution to coming back to myself, understanding my story, and repositioning myself in my own story. And family constellation taught me that the way I connect with my mother, the way I respect my mother, the way I have empathy for what she has gone through will determine the success of all my relationships, will determine the way my marriage will end up, will determine how I attract and manifest money. When I heard that, I was like, you know what? My relationship with my mother can improve. And that's something that I've done in 2017, 2018. So I had a bit of discomfort with how my mother has handled me after my father passed away. And I was holding a trace of judgment towards her being weak, towards her being very emotional about, for example, when she was driving the car, she was very erratic, she was very scattered. And that made me very emotional, and that made me very scared. So through years of wisdom, through years of revisiting that emotion, I've learned that she did the best that she could at that time. So I got to my heart and I told her, Mom, this is how I felt. This is what I felt then. And she said, oh, I didn't know. So in family constellation, I've learned that when you think you are better than your parent, you're positioning yourself higher than them. Energetically, you are not well. You have to allow yourself to say, wow, my mom and my dad are somewhere there up and I am here under them. And then energetically, their love flows towards you rather than you thinking, oh, I know better than my parents. Oh, they don't know anything. They just brought me to life. There is an imbalance of energy that affects you in everything that you want to accomplish. My life has changed after this type of therapy and intervention. I speak with my mom every single day, and I've cried and I told her everything that made me sensitive as a child. And she received me. She said, she received that. She said, I didn't know because she wasn't aware, because she was busy coping with life. And let's face it, in 89, in 92, there were no psychologists, there were no therapists in Romania or anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
So I encourage now more and more people to stop, maybe stop blaming their parents for whatever they didn't give them, and take responsibility for what they need and do something about it. In addition to the people that I work and I empower to work on their presentations, people are not afraid of speaking in public. People are afraid of certain parts of them that they haven't met or they haven't made peace with. And the reason we are afraid to present in public is that we know that we are going to showcase a lot of us in public, and we are not certain that we want to. It's like if you come to my house now, I don't really want to show you my personal bathroom. I will invite you with pleasure to use the service bathroom, but my bathroom, I haven't thrown the towels. My pajamas are on the floor.
Yes.
So sure. Some people are afraid to present in public because not all sides of them are ready to be shown. And that's why you have people who are very natural and authentic when they speak. And that's why you have people who are a little bit more stiff. And they start by saying, today, I'm going to talk to you about what I've memorized last night. Because I will only show you my living room. I'm not going to let you see the other rooms because they are not tidy. And that's why some people are more crisp and constipated and tight. And some people are more relaxed and they say, how are you doing, beautiful people? How is everything? Let's talk. Let's have a conversation because I cleaned all my room. I cleaned all my house.
Yes, yes. So, just to get my own demons out there. So when you were coming on, so when I knew you were going to be my guest, I had this amount of paper ready, so make sure that we touch base on everything, right? So then I said, no, and then Andrea's going to yell at you. And I said, no, We're going to be yourself, speak from the heart, introduce her from the heart, and just, Andrea, and that, you're both each other's journey for quite a while. Just whatever comes and has a flow to it, just go with it. So I totally agree. And I wanted to mention this, that even I've been doing this. I've traveled the world. I spoke on so many stages. I shared the stage with so many, influencers and celebrities. But you're right. I don't want to show my bathroom. I just want to show my perfect, little living room space that I could only invite people who I don't know. And I love that metaphor because it really connected with me. Appreciate that.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you've mentioned everything, and I want to say that 3 years ago, when you came to the masterclass, just curious, just to explore presentation skills, you were
Yes.
kind of trying to hide and not speak. You were like, "Yeah, okay, I will go next, maybe later."
I was
Yes,
hoping I get smaller and smaller so you don't see me, so you don't pick on me. But unfortunately, I was sitting right in front of you, and I was like, "Damn it!" And it was too late,
I actually put you on the spot. I was more or less forcing you with kindness to come out of your shell, to speak.
Exactly. When kindness didn't work, you went up a notch. Just saying.
You know, Hanan, I tell my participants that their fear should be afraid of me. Their fear of speaking in public should fear me.
Yeah, it's true. I agree. But I loved it. I mean, you do it with so much love and compassion that you actually breaking the shell with that love and compassion. So it makes it acceptable, if you will, and it makes you want to, be a butterfly and not stay in that cocoon. Yeah.
Thank you.
On the next note, so confidence coach. I love that title. I love it, love it, love it. So, how did you become this unstoppable confidence coach?
Let's say the truth and only the truth, so help us God, because on your show we are only helping, serving, and inspiring. I'm giving myself the medicine that I need for myself. I'm giving myself the medicine called confidence. I wasn't physically, I wasn't emotionally, I wasn't. I came to Dubai in 2004, exploring my opportunities. I've worked, in different industries, from the hotel industry to then sport and fitness to then modeling, presenting, and now professional coaching. And I discovered how insecure I was when I was on the catwalk, when I was presenting fashion. So I presented for thousands and thousands of people. I was wearing expensive garments. I was wearing the most sophisticated makeup. I looked impeccable, like a goddess, like a princess. And I felt like that in the clothes, with the makeup, with the mask, for 15 or 20 minutes on the show. When I would come home and I would remove my makeup, I would come back to myself and feel not good enough, and feel that my hair is falling, and feel that my acne is showing. And I knew between me and myself that I was putting on a show, and I was able to make a living as a model because I had the genetical inheritance. I had the height and the looks and the symmetry, the face. But inside, I wasn't. And then when I aspired to become a presenter, I had to roll up my sleeves and start to do the work, which is, you can't present if you don't have inner confidence. You can't. You will be an actor, you will sound like a robot, you will be able to read a script, but you won't be able to connect from heart with your audience. Yeah. So when I aspired to be a presenter, because I love the stage, I loved being, and I'm extrovert. You said you are an introvert. You know by now that I'm an extrovert.
Yeah,
so I said, I tried to speak, and I realized that I wasn't successful. So I traveled to the US. I studied with a very famous presenter called Steve Truitt from ABC TV from Los Angeles. And he told me, you don't need presenting. you need confidence coaching because you lack confidence. That was in 2014. I said, I lack confidence. He said, big time. So that's where my healing journey started and my work towards molding, shaping, rebuilding Rome, rebuilding myself started 6 years ago. And that meant that I had to look in the mirror and realize that I don't feel good enough, that I feel like a second-hand citizen because I was East European trying to make a living in an Arab country in the UAE. And I had to face those quote unquote demons. I had to face those insecurities and say to myself, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do? So studying myself, paying attention on a daily basis, surrounding myself with coaches, perfecting my presenting skills, my English, my vocabulary, my enunciation helped me rebuild my confidence. Because I was on that journey, I'm now able to help anybody and everybody to present anything they want. And as a result of overcoming stage fright, they are better connected with themselves. They come out of a session or a course with me saying, Andrea, I feel freer, I feel lighter, I feel better, I can speak, I'm free, I feel more confident. So my clients taught me that the results I'm offering them is the result I gave myself, which is more confidence. And I said to myself, because I have all the certification in neuro-linguistic presenting and coaching from all the institutions, I said, I have the freedom to call myself a confidence coach, but at the core, I'm a neuro-linguistic programming master coach.
Yeah, there's a word for that. It's called glossophobia, which is the fear of public speaking, and
the fear of tongue.
Yeah, exactly. So that I've heard that people would rather die. They have a fear of glossophobia or public speaking or the tongue, like you said, than death itself. And I love what you brought it up to people. It's not really the speaking part. It's actually being able to show up and be able to show who you are and not have that fear that you have to hide or pretend or prove anything to anyone. Yeah.
For anyone who is interested in public speaking, here is everything you need to know when it comes to overcoming this fear, right? You are afraid that you will lose your identity.
Yes.
You are afraid that however you are perceived in society is going to be deleted and cancelled. That's what you fear. Because we used to live in thousands, millions of years ago, long time ago. Who is counting? I don't know who is counting, but long time ago we used to first live in tribes.
Yes.
So when we used to live in tribes, we used to all be interconnected, inclusive, and feel that we belong. Whenever somebody would do something wrong in the tribe, like lie, cheat, or maybe got a crime, they would be eliminated from the tribe and punished for a while for them to become conscious of their behavior and only after a while reintegrated in the tribe. So it's in our cells. This memory is in our cells. We can't eliminate it. We know that when we show up in front of people, if we do something wrong or if we are not good enough, we might be bullied or people will just simply reject us. We know at a cellular level that that possibility is there. Therefore, that's like a handbrake. And people like yourself, who are constantly on stages, who is constantly serving through speaking, you know that with practice, with breath, with memorization, with more and more practice, you're able to master your inner dialogue and say, no, it's not true. I am accepted by my people. No, I am needed. And that's why I'm a firm believer that absolutely everybody can use their voice for the good, and that fear of speaking in public is real, is valid, but is also manageable.
Yes. And it's actually at the end of the day, I feel it's therapy because when you step out on stage, you leave behind this insecurities, and then for me especially when I get on stage, I'm an introvert by nature, but there's a switch that comes on when I'm on stage, and it's not about me anymore. And I quote you saying that to me, I believe, 3 years ago, and it's with me till today.
Yes.
When it's no longer about you and it's about your message and what you're delivering to your audience, it's actually a service and that you're actually giving. And when you look at it that way, the ego goes away, and the fear goes away, and you step up and step out, and you're speaking as you're servicing others without this fear. Yeah.
I was looking up. So everybody has some speakers, authors, star speakers in the motivational arena that they look up to. For me, I was and I am looking up to Ron Kaufman, who is a star in the customer service arena. And when I interviewed him in 2014, he told me during the interview that whatever happens, that his belief is that whatever happens in his small world should not
Yeah.
affect whatever happens when we are in front of people. That them, the 10, 20, 10,000 people are far more important than whatever has happened that morning in your small life.
Yeah.
They are more important. When I heard that from him and when I discussed that with him, I also had a change in perspective. And also, every single time we go and share our truth, share an information, tell a story, we literally have a gift that we are offering to our audience. And I don't know anyone who is shy or afraid to give a gift. When I prepare a gift, it's your birthday, I can't wait to give you the gift.
Yes. Yeah. And I can't wait to receive it.
Right. I will prepare another gift.
Well, just between you and me, Ron Kaufman is going to be on my show as well soon.
Of course.
I'm so excited. I love this man.
Just between you and I, I'm having the pleasure to speak with him tomorrow morning. 'Cause I adore him. I think
Yeah,
that I think that
amazing.
I think that when he speaks, he really shakes this world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. So, oh my God, we only have a few minutes. I have so much to ask you, and you bring so much value. So let's talk about your authentic voice. How do you, because this is such an important message, because yes, a lot of people get up there and they're talking and it's not really, it's what they think people want to hear, right? And that's not authenticity, right? They're either pretending, hiding, or proving something or defending something, right? So how do people find their authentic voice?
Short and sweet. Identify how you feel when you speak with your best friends. When you are on the couch and you're drinking a tea, whatever you are drinking in the evening, and you're just being yourself with your friend. Watch your language, watch your body language. Notice how you feel when you are so truthful with your best friend. And ask yourself, what is that prevents me from bringing those truths, those values to an audience? I don't mean everything, but I mean the same character that you are when you are with your best friend. What prevents you from bringing 60, 70% of that to stage? Most often is, oh, what would people say? Different type of limitations, how you will be perceived or judged. Maybe you think you are not relevant to be in that way. And so finding your authentic voice is understanding the character that you are in your real life and amplify it when you are on stage. And in all honesty, that requires a bit of practice. It can't just be said and done. It requires you to be validated by a coach, by someone who has some experience in the speaking or coaching arena to say yes. So very often I act as a director who listens to an actor, and I help the that particular individual to realize that the video, the StreamYard, the live on Facebook is a stage. And I ask the person, who is your audience? How are you showing up? What is the character that you are showcasing? Are you a mother? Are you a doctor? Are you a coach? Are you a thought leader? Are you a community builder? Are you a doctor, an engineer? And then when you own the character and you trust that you are enough,
Yes.
you trust that whoever you have become till date is good enough.
Yes.
And you have that inner peace, and you have that feeling that how much you know, whoever you are is just good enough, and you go and you serve, you will naturally sound authentic. In addition to having made peace with your past, with whoever you have been, and wherever you have been. So in my case, how I grew up, what were my insecurities, what were my unmet needs, I made peace with them. I have healed all those wounds, and now when you hear me, you hear a happy voice, you hear giggles, and you hear that also if you have coffee with me at 4 p.m. in a coffee shop, not only on StreamYard.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's a process of practicing and asking yourself, asking everyone should ask themselves, what prevents me from being on stage the way I am as I am with my friends?
I have a quick question for you. I think it's come up with a lot of women like you and myself, or people who are so empowered and they have been on stages, getting awards, and they're very, out there, right? So would you recommend dimming that for a relationship, for harmony in your relationship? If what if the spouse or the significant other can't handle that? Because a lot of people, I've seen it, the woman especially, she dims her light so not to outshine their partner. So it's intimidating. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of men with women who are empowered, they become very intimidating, and it creates somewhat of a not so good healthy relationship. So what do you say to that?
One word. You asked me, should women or people dim their lights when they are in certain circumstances with certain people? And my answer is one word. Never.
Yes.
Question number 1. How would you feel if the sun would dim its intensity and light and brightness?
Not good.
The sun is busy, metaphorically, the sun is busy being a sun, being radiant and strong and powerful. If you have the potential to be bright, if you have the potential to be bold, if you have the potential to make more money than your best friend or your spouse, why in the world would you stop that potential? Why? It's a crime towards yourself. It's a crime towards your spirit. Now, I know that because I work with women who tell me the same, Hanan. And that's why women are less confident than men. Statistically, women are less confident than men because we are afraid to lose the connection with that person, and we make ourselves smaller, and we want to be at home housewives and let him shine because I don't want his masculinity. You know what? This life is a journey. Maybe you are meant to be with your husband for 2 years or for 12 years or for 2 months. You be busy being you, because truth be told, whoever is meant to grow with you will have to level up to your level. If you are here, he has to come here. If you are here, he has to come here. If he can't, I'm so sorry. I will wait. But if you can't, I owe it to my spirit to move on, to shine, to evolve.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, that's your Romania coming out.
That's what you get in the masterclass if you come to my masterclass.
I was like, whoa.
Because I want to wake up. Because I want to wake up people from the fear of losing that relationship and dimming themselves up. And I want them to understand that it's unfair towards themselves because it will anyway fire back at themselves.
Absolutely. Okay. So unfortunately, I had like 3 more questions, but we've run out of time. So what I usually do, like I was mentioning before at the show,
Yes,
is
see what comes out.
yes, I'm going to pick a quote. Okay. Okay. So here it is, and I want you to reflect on this as we close the show. So I realized that if this is the quote, I realized that if I wanted to really live my purpose, wow, okay. I realized that if I wanted to really live my purpose and follow my passion, I would need to work in a completely different way.
I love it. I love it because what got you here won't get you there.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
So how does that resonate with you as the last words before we wrap up today?
It reminds me of the time when I stopped being, feeling, and acting like I'm the victim, and I stepped up. I stepped up into my power, and I said to myself, there is more to life than this. There is more to life than me blaming that my past was difficult. My past was difficult is because I didn't have that then. I stopped saying that and I said, oh, I wonder what more can come from the future. So it resonates 1,000%, Hannah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we're not going to really have any time, but I do have some Cardella Colson, Empowered Women Keep Shining. Thank you, Cardella. So inspiration, real story, real challenge from the inside. Thank you, Charmaine. So that wraps up. Do you have any other last words, Andrea, that you want to share?
I prepared something from a favorite book of mine, Osho. I wanted to dedicate you a poem of love because I love words. I love reciting, and that's what I do from day in and day out. I give life and power to words, and because your heart is gigantic, I wanted to read something about love to you and actually to your amazing audience as well. So this is poem 53 from the book, and it says, love. You are accepted. You are accepted forever, just as you are. The doors of the temple of existence are always open, unconditionally. No one except the person who is not able to accept himself is rejected in the temple of existence. But the responsibility of non acceptance is ours alone. Self condemnation is irreligious, perhaps the only irreligiousness. It's a difficult word. Self condemnation is the only original sin because the person who condemns himself will be unable to offer himself to existence. In life, only the flower that blooms by totally accepting itself can be offered a defeat of the divine. So I wanted to speak more about self-acceptance because I know how much you speak about it as well, and I know how important it is for our health. And I want to thank you so much for bringing so much to us and by taking care of our number one asset, our health. Thank you, Hanan.
Thank you, Andrea. I love that. That was such a nice surprise. The poem really and that's back at you because that's how much I love you also. Thank you for joining me on the show today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your authenticity. Thank you for your story. And thank you for your value to the audience today. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Until next week, every Wednesday at Second Chances, we're going to bring you amazing, wonderful people just like Andrea who are experts in their fields, and hopefully, we didn't speak about your course. So I wanted to mention it really quick. You were working today, and you were able to make time for me because you were recording your course that's going to be out soon. Yes, thank you so much.
One of the reasons I said yes to you is because we are very, very close, and I'm so happy to see how much you have blossomed. And I had to carve out some time because due to the circumstances, due to the pandemic, I had to take my business online. So I've started my online courses on public speaking and confidence, which I'm launching on the 23rd of July. And whoever is interested to know a little bit more about their confidence, how they can really work on their presentation skills, I'm more than happy to respond to them on Instagram, on Facebook. You can definitely share my contacts with them. I'm here to also help as much as you are.
Share your handle right now on Instagram, so they could follow you, so they know when the workshop, the online course is out. Yeah.
It's my name, Andrea Zoya.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Andrea. Talk to you soon. I love you, and thank you again. Take care. Bye, everyone. Thank you.